A monster who's a true legend in the industry. And shit, I don't know. Hey, play the music.
Just let me talk my shit. I got all day. She's trying to run the heat. And I done learned a lot of shit. I had to burn no more brain. I had to serve no more friends. I had to serve no more.
What's up, guys? This your boy, Mr. I240. I'm back with another episode today. Hey, guys, we almost at 300 subscribers. We're 7 away. Let's get the let's get it rolling. Let's get it rolling. Let's get it rolling. Also, I know y'all been seeing the new episodes I've been promoting and the content and stuff like that. I appreciate the love the page been getting. I tried to do a poll the other day, but didn't nobody else respond. But I was gonna try to release one of the episodes that I had promoted as a surprise episode for 61 or episode number 60, or as I get to my 300 subscriber. But y'all didn't respond. But if y'all want me to do another poll of what episode I should release next as a surprise episode, put them in the comments. I know y'all see how the episodes I promoted, and I pushed it to the forefront. So that means it can be SummerSlam, for example, the Memphis Wrestling episode, or the AJ Styles vs. John Cena, or so on and so on. Y'all know the episodes that I promoted, and but we'll do this at either a surprise 60th episode or when I get to 300 episode. So hey, y'all want me to do another poll on it, and I choose the 2 episodes, whatever we gonna vote for, and we'll go from there. But also, I missed you guys. I appreciate you guys for the love the page been getting. I've been this is one of my other episodes I've been wanting to film today, and stuff like that. But before we get into it, I gotta give thanks to the man above, Lord Jesus Christ, Yahweh. If it wasn't for him, it wouldn't be no me, no y'all, no page, no nothing. So let's get straight into it. Today's episode is called "It's Up," and that's featuring my first subject between Sable and Chyna. Now, both doing their WWE runs when they both came in the mid to late 90s. Sable was the sexy but luxurious superstar who was the wife of Mark Merrow, a crafty veteran. Then, of course, you had Chyna, she made her debut scene taking out Marlena doing Triple H versus Goldust feud as Triple H bodyguard. And you would think, like, between these 2 women, why would it be a rival? But are we really surprised though? Like, think about it. You got one woman who got over because she was pretty and she fine. Let's just be real. I love Sable, but all she had was the power bomb. Okay. Then you had this bodybuilding woman who everybody thought, of course she grew into her looks as a beautiful woman, but when she initially came to the WWE, folks was making jokes like she was a man and stuff like that. But she was really a female bodybuilder who trained with the OG Killer Kowalski alongside with Triple H. Then you gotta ask yourself, like for example, Sable was more known for her moments than her wrestling matches. And it probably ain't due to her fault, because it was just a lack of women wrestling during the Attitude Era, especially at the beginning of the Attitude Era. But it seemed like Sable was more known for her moments than just really having actual wrestling matches. Think about it. Sable's biggest feud was against her husband and Miss Jackie. Of course, her and Jackie had the little, strip off with her, but Jerry King Lawler going crazy when Sable had the little hand palm print on the breast. Hell, I was crazy about Sable. Hell, I had a Sable poster in my room back in '97. Then, of course, you got one woman who was getting it out the mud, being the muscle, being involved in matches, being involved in physical action. Being the right-hand woman to Triple H. So you got to think about that. Then on top of that, like, both women careers just was kind of identical, but it just they put it kind of Sable on the forefront, and then Chyna was second. But Chyna did more work, so I thought Chyna should have been on the forefront instead of Sable, because like I said, Sable didn't have that many matches. She was just known for being pretty, blonde hair, and that was it. And then on top of that, especially from the Sable standpoint, they said Sable didn't want to wrestle. So we know who was behind that push. Do I gotta say it, man? You know what? I'm gonna say it. My main man. Now this time for real. My main man, this nigga. If it's a pretty face, he gonna push it to the moon and back. So these women having, good career paths or whatever, but it came to a full circle on the TV show. When Sable, I think was the women's champion or whatever, and the reporter asked Chyna why she haven't gone after the WWE women's title. And you see the reporter put it right here. She said, I will be Sable in 2 seconds. And of course, Sable had responded Sable responded, I got Sable response right here at the bottom. But it was so funny that dude, especially shortly after that, Sabre had left the company. I don't know if it was due to the comments or alleged sexual allegations that she had towards them. But it kind of brings me to my point. And you ask yourself, when you look at the beef and you look at the credentials that both women bring to the table, it's easy to argue that Chyna was way better than her. You got to think about it. Chyna is in the Hall of Fame first. We showed Chyna could be sexy, fly, and pretty, and she had that lovable side, especially when she teamed up with Eddie Guerrero, and they had good chemistry with Mamacita and all that stuff, especially after she had that bounce back career move after the Triple H scandal with Stephanie and Triple H. Then, of course, she was a part of one of the greatest groups of all time, the Generation X, and she became a women's champion. And also, she became Intercontinental champion. She had great feuds with Chris Jericho, Jeff Jarrett, and of course, she had the feud with Ivory and Lita. And of course, Chyna was in the Royal Rumble. So, she had more range and she's more memorable than Sable. Only thing we can remember Sable for is being pretty and sexy. And that's it. Of course, she did Playboy with Tori Wilson, and they were doing lesbian stuff, kissing and all that. You know what I'm saying? But it's just like wrestle fans don't care about that. We care about what you do in the ring and stuff like that. And don't get me wrong, Sable was decent on the mic. She made her promos interesting. Was Chyna interested on the mic? No, but Chyna was a good worker, and she put in the effort, especially in her looks. Like I said, she went from the bodybuilder, but then all of a sudden she toned up and showed that sexy side. You know what I'm saying? Doing that, the back in the photo shoots back in the day with the Divas, you know what I'm saying, with Ivory and Trish Stratus, Lita, all them, you know what I'm saying? So Chyna showed that she's more than just a tough chick. She can also be sexy and flirtatious with it, you know what I'm saying? So it just, especially after before Chyna got released, you know what I'm saying, Chyna wanted more money, Vince let her go, and then it just went down here from Chyna, you know what I'm saying, especially with the X-Pac sex tape, and then she went and turned herself into the porn industry, and then of course by 2017, Chyna passed. And for Sable, she came back in 2003, she played as Vince McMahon's love interest, and then had a real life affair with Brock Lesnar, when I think he was married, and of course she was married to Mark Mero, and then she made her last appearance on WWE in 2004 with the Braun Panty Tag Team match at WrestleMania 20. And then we didn't see Sable no more. And, her and Brock still married and they got beautiful kids. But it didn't surprise me that two women with two different backgrounds and stuff like that had beef with each other. You know what I'm saying? You got one that was always the pretty girl, and you had the one that was, the muscle chick that probably got dished a lot or whatever. And you can't be surprised that them women always had heat. So that's it for this subject. For this subject, both of them had good Hall of Fame careers. But I just think personally, Chyna just had the better career because she did more and she was a worker and she was willing to get better at the craft and do what she needed to do. All right. Oh, snap. Next subject. The Bloodline Civil War. Shots has been fired. Pow, pow. Yo. It looked like we might be getting blood versus blood at either SummerSlam or Money in the Bank. You got to think about it. It's been a lot of tension in the bloodline since WrestleMania. And it all went downhill when the Usos lost the tag team titles to Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens, while Solo helped his brother retain the championship against Cody Rhodes. And you can tell, especially with the tension between Jimmy and Roman. Now, Jimmy and Roman always had tension, especially when Jimmy came back the first time around when he said he's nobody, you know what I mean? Because he was trying to look out for his brother and protect him. But of course, Roman manipulated his way for Jimmy to join him, and the Bloodline went on to have large success from all them guys being double champions and taking over for a year. But, and plus, you added Solo, and he been Roman Reigns' right-hand man. But now, on a recent episode of SmackDown, well, no, they had to, especially with the Usos losing the rematch against Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens, Roman Reigns took it upon himself to go for the tag team championships. And plus, he was being disrespectful to Jimmy. Even before the Bloodline, before the 1000th title celebration. If you remember, they was all sitting on the couch. Roman was sitting there talking his trash. You know, Paul Heyman let him know he gonna have a title celebration. His tribal chief want the Usos to be there, and then Roman was like, "Oh man, it's gonna be crazy. The family gonna be there, and I want Jay to be there, especially you, Jay." And like he took a swipe shot at Jimmy. Jimmy got up to him. He finna get something to eat, and he told Jimmy, "Sit down." I said, "Jimmy, sit down." Then of course Roman Reigns got up. He said, "So what you gonna do? You gonna pull the trigger?" "Nah, you ain't gonna do that. Cause you know, I always whoop you. I whoop you then, and I'll whoop you now." Then of course, later on that night, it was the confrontation between Roman Reigns. Well, first, Paul Heyman came out doing a promo, and then the Usos came out, and Paul Heyman couldn't believe it. Like, why is they out here? And then the Usos and Sami them going back and forth. And then that's when Jimmy said, "I'm the tribal chief." And then that's when Roman came out and swiped the microphones from Jimmy and Jay. And then Sami was like, "It's all falling down here because of you." And then he swiped the microphone from him. Then they started going at it. One love. Of course, Kevin Owens hit the stunner first. Dropped him. Then they started going at it. Everybody beefing. Then, of course, the right-hand man, the enforcer, Solo, came out of nowhere. Wham! Dropped Kevin Love with the Omega Spike. Now, he dropped Sammy. Then Kevin Owens tried to hit him with the stunner. Dropped him. Then, Roman Reigns getting up upset. "Solo! Pick him up!" Man, Solo picked him up. Wham! Dropped Sammy like it was nothing. Then, of course, you had the moment where you thought Jimmy was going to super kick Roman right then and there. Of course, Jay gave Solo the tag team championships. Then Jimmy Uso was reluctant to give Roman the tag team championships. Then, of course, Jimmy was taking too long. And then Jay took the championships, gave it to Roman Reigns. Roman Reigns looked behind him for a good minute. Solo gave him his championships. He had his arms stretched out like he's a wrestling god. And the show went off. Then, of course, the Night of Champions, it went down. Everybody going at it. Roman them getting at work. Then, the ends of the match, the Uso came out, attacking Sami them first. Boom, beat them down. Kicked Kevin Owens over the table. Roman outside. Then they beating Sami up. They going for the super kick. Wong knock Solo out. Roman seen it. He get mad. "The hell you doing here?" Push Jimmy. Talking to Jay. Jay like, "I always had you, bro. I had you." "Ain't no day one no more." Mug Jay. Then Jimmy just snapped. Wham! Kick Roman Reigns in the face. Then as it go down, Jimmy getting fired up. Going crazy. He had released that anger looking like Randy Orton. Without no counseling for real. Well, with counseling for real. And let that anger out. Then Jay looked like, "Why you do that? We better than this." And then Jimmy looked like, "I'm your brother, not him. Me. I want to do you like that." Jay having that PST flashback. You know, Roman finna go crazy. He was so scared, he started calling him by his name. His real name. "Yo, Joe." Because Roman was looking stunned. He couldn't believe it. Jimmy crossed him. And then Jimmy was like, "I had to do it." Wham! Dropped him again. Crowd going crazy. And he looking at Jay, we gotta go. Solo get up, kind of stunned, can't believe it. And then, what happened next? Roman still outside the ring. Kevin Owens hit Solo with the stunner. Solo back into the corner. Haluva kick. Wham! Really a hell of a kick, but Haluva kick. Wham! 1, 2, 3. Kevin Owens and Sammy moved on. Bloodline chapter closed as they go on against Imperium next. So, with the disappointment of losing the tag team championships, it's still the title reign celebration. Of course, the Usos was supposed to be abandoned from the building. Roman Reigns come out with Paul Heyman with the championships. Triple H waiting on him with the brand new Undisputed Championship. Of course, they celebrating, hugging, handshaking, giving him a hug. Congratulations, I love you, bruh. Paul Heyman smiling like a championship father. Solo and just chilling, doing what he do. He's like the Lloyd Banks of the group. Well, really just him and Roman at this point. Lloyd Banks of the group. Well, you chilling. Then of course, the Usos came out. Roman mad as hell. They talking. Roman told Jay, fix this. Kick him in the face. It's the only way you can make him right. Kick him in the face. Jay looking scared like a little bitch. Don't know what to do. So I said, you ain't gonna do it. I'm not gonna ask you again. And then this when Jimmy came out. The only one that need fixing is you. Jay can't fix this. I'm the one kicked you in the face. The kick heard around the world. This right here, that made you crazy. 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 And the only reason I did it, because I had to be a big brother, a provider, a protector. I protect him, and now I protect him. Because lately, Oos, you haven't been a brother. Then, of course, Roman getting mad, getting fired up. He said, I'm not trying to be the tribal chief. Then Roman was like, you speaking up for everybody, like you the leader, huh? Let's see what Solo got to say. Solo took the mic, looking all quiet. You know that man don't like to talk. He said, hey, I acknowledge you, my tribal chief. But these two right here, these are my brothers. Whew. Roman looking like, oh, man. I can't believe it, bro. I'm going crazy. So, I look up. He's like, damn. Roman thinks Solo finna leave him. Then he said, you know what? Shut your... That's when Jimmy pushed him. Jimmy pushed him, man. Then Jay looked like, I need you. I need you. And then they hugged it out. Or so they thought. And then you looked up. Roman was like, no. And then we gave Solo the drop. Wham. Drop Jimmy. Jay looking shocked, crying. Got the look holding his brother. Solo looking like, yeah. Payback, motherfucker. Ain't no weaklings in the bloodline. Then, of course, they walking back up. And then Paul Heyman asks Roman Reigns, so what about Jay? What we gonna do about Jay? And then Roman said, Jay gonna do what he do. He gonna come back home. He gonna fall in line and come back home. The end. Now Jay gotta make a decision tomorrow night. Well, Friday, whatever, because I don't know when this episode will drop, but you know how I do. And the end of this, so we'll see where it go from there. And we might be getting that match at probably Money in the Bank or SummerSlam. All right. And of course, the next subject I want to talk about, Samoa Joe and AJ, the rivalry. The great matches, the history between the guys, from the Ring of Honors to the TNAs. This got to be one of the greatest rivalries that's not talked about in wrestling history. And I got 7 matches right here. If you remember, Unbreakable in 2005. This was Samoa Joe's first run when he was on the undefeated streak. And then I think he won the X Division Championship that year. You had the Unbreakable match. I think that's the triple threat match. Was either... I'm not sure y'all call me. I think I'm gonna post a picture on her, but I think that's when there was Joe versus Styles versus Daniels. Then of course, y'all got the Turning Point match in 05. Then you got the TNA Sacrifice in 2005. TNA Sacrifice 2007. And then they brought it over to WWE. And this time, it became personal when they brought AJ Styles' wife into the mix in a great underrated classic match at SummerSlam in 2018. This was also the card with Randy Orton versus Kofi and the Fatal 4-Way. No, this was when Roman won. It was Brock versus Roman Reigns. And I think it was that whack match with Bayley versus Ember Moon on the card. The match was good, but the build-up made the match trash. That wasn't it. Then, of course, they had the match at Hell in a Cell and Crown Jewel. And I think they had the match at, what's that event called in Australia? What's the Super Show? So, basically, AJ and Samoa Joe always going to be right next to each other. It's like, it's up there with The Rock versus Austin, Dreamer versus Raven. Goddamn, let me see what else to rap. Who else on this jump? So they had a lot of great rivals and stuff like that. Hold up, guys. My bad, I'm back, guys. There was somebody knocking on the door. But yeah, AJ Styles and Samoa Joe was one of the greatest rivals in wrestling history. Like I said, it was up there with your Austin Rocks, Triple H Rocks, Cena Rocks, Tommy Dreamer, and Raven, Flair, and Rose. It was up there. And both of them guys are still continuing kicking ass. Where you got AJ, who's still, I think he's a 4-time WWE champion. Samoa Joe, who's currently the ROH Ring of Honor tag champion, who's gonna be in the main event on the episode of Collision with Jay White and Juice Robinson against CM Punk and FTR. Shout out to those guys. All right, but this next subject, we gotta give this woman her prop. She made her own impact in the industry. And I'm talking about the great Vickie Guerrero. Vickie Guerrero was married to, of course, the late, great Eddie Guerrero, where they had 2 beautiful daughters. So she was a part of a legendary family. So this lovely woman made her debut in 2005, involving herself in the Eddie Guerrero-Rey Mysterio ladder match for the custody of Dominic, where Eddie Guerrero finna get the win, get his son. Oh, one love, wrong, no. Vickie was like, no, that ain't right, and that ain't it. And also, if y'all don't know, so Vickie was supposed to come out, and she missed her spot in Eddie Guerrero. She was supposed to come out a little bit earlier than that, but it kind of pissed Eddie Guerrero because he was kind of mad about it. So, after that, we ain't see Vickie no more for probably like a year and a half. No, about a year and a half. You know, especially after Eddie Guerrero had passed shortly after that with heart failure in November 2005, 3 weeks before Survivor Series. So we didn't see her for about at least a year and a half. And she re-debuted as the girlfriend of Edge when Edge had, I think he had an injury in July. He was injured for a minute. He was injured for about 3 months. And then he reimbursed. He came back at Survivor Series when Batista had fought The Undertaker in a classic Hell in a Cell match at Survivor Series 2007. And it's arguable to say that Batista and Edge was probably the rivalry of the year in the whole wrestling circuit. But it's a whole nother debate. So, then of course, that next month, she put him in a triple threat match against Undertaker, Batista, and Armageddon, where he won the championship thanks to the Edge heads, Kurt Hawkins and Zack Ryder. Then, of course, they went on a rampage of feuding with Rey Mysterio, who was in disbelief, especially coming from his feud with Chavo, which he was involved in the previous year. Yeah, we did see it 06. She was involved in that in the previous year, but we didn't see it for a minute after the Chavo situation. And he was kind of disgusted, like, you doing this with Edge? And, of course, Edge and Rey had a great feud at the Royal Rumble and then at No Way Out for the championship, which Edge defeated Rey twice. And then during the springtime, they feuded with the Undertaker. She was involved in it. She was a very pivotal point throughout the old Undertaker feud at WrestleMania, Backlash, and Judgment Day. Because you remember, Undertaker won the championship at WrestleMania. He beat the Edge at Backlash with the Hell's Gate chokehold, and then Judgment Day, he used it again, but that move was banned, so they had to vacate the championship in the ladder match. You know what I'm saying? Especially when they had the great spot, the episode before the SmackDown episode before the match, where you remember Edge on the ladder celebrating one love. I'm gonna win this match. Yeah. Undertaker popped up on the ladder again. Choke slam Edge. That was a good spot. Good booking too. I loved it. So, of course, Undertaker's career was on the line. Of course, Edge had the championship. He won. Undertaker took some time off. And then after that, they had shortly marriage problems. And I think this one, Edge had kissed Alicia Fox. They were doing their little wedding or whatever, fiance or whatever. He kissed Alicia Fox. Then Vicky was so good at being a heel and a vindictive character, she did it out of spite. She brought the Undertaker back. And then they had to book the Hell in a Cell, and the promos in Hell in a Cell. Edge carrying the match by himself was pretty good. Where I think he attacked Mick Foley. I think he attacked Chavo. And did he take out Zack Ryder and Kurt Angle? I'm not sure. But it was good, entertaining stuff. And Vicky was just a part of that whole concept because her character was so great. It's like she was a natural heel. You know what I'm saying? Like she was so natural at it. And then you add Edge in the mix and stuff like that. And then you had them feuds that lined up with it, you know, the Takers and Rey Mysterio. It just brought out the best in her. You know what I'm saying? She was like that evil GM. She had to be one of the greatest GMs. She had to be up there with, like, I say, if they had a GM poll, who's the greatest GM? I say probably Teddy Long, Eric Bischoff, Paul Heyman, and then Vicky Guerrero. You can't go wrong with neither of them four. That GM, because they all played a great GM and played a great role. Then of course, you know, her Edge had split up after the feud, and then of course she had joined the Big Show, who she had a love interest. Well, it was a business relationship, then became like a love interest in 2009 when they all got back together. And so, with the Big Show, no, they were partners. They were cool at first. Then they had the love interest in 2009 when they had the great triple threat match at WrestleMania with John Cena, Batista, and Big Show. John Cena, Big Show, and Edge at WrestleMania. Then I think shortly after her and Edge split up. Then of course, she had joined Dolph Ziggler in the feud against Edge, where Edge can use the Spirit, the Royal Rumble. And then shortly after that, you know, a year or two after that, she left WWE and she moved on. So she's one of the greatest managers that was a part of some big legacy. She made her own impact as a Guerrero too. You know what I'm saying? Like Chavo, Eddie, and the other members of the family. She put her foot down in the wrestling business. She, you know what I'm saying? She did her thing. She played her role. Yeah, I couldn't see Vicky Guerrero as a face. It didn't look right, but she was definitely a great heel. No cap. And the other subject gonna be kind of like, and I just wanted to talk about this. Like, I want to know who y'all think better, Logan Paul or Bad Bunny? I ain't gonna front. I like to see them in a match against each other. I ain't gonna front. You know what I'm saying? Because both of them having tremendous success. Bad Bunny been a part of the title championship run. Not Bad Bunny, Logan Paul. You know, so he been in big matches against Miz, Roman Reigns, of course the Mysterios that started off this whole thing, and Logan Paul, and of course he just had a WrestleMania match with Seth Rollins. Then of course Bad Bunny had his WrestleMania match at Backlash against Damian Priest in the main event, which was an instant classic. And he made Damian Priest look good to the point where we might see Damian Priest leaving Judgment Day. And stuff like that. So we'll see how that go. But both of them had stellar careers, and I'd just like to see them guys have a match. So we'll see how they go. But oh snap! The next subject, we getting an instant classic between Adam Cole and MJF. The rivalry that people been wanting to see, and I was just so surprised it happened so soon. But you had to make that match, you know, especially after MJF, who been on the impressive championship slaughter. You know, he beat Daniel Bryan in the Iron Man match. He's the best out of the original four, where he beat it Darby Allin, Sammy Guevara, Jungle Boy, especially the clever way he did it, where Darby Allin was going for his special move. He put the championship belt on I think Jungle Boy. So creative, he got the win. He got the dub. Still champion. And I think after the press conference, he was claiming that there's no one left. I'm better than everybody. There is no competition. So then, of course, him and Adam Cole having the greatest promo where they brought up Keith Lee, where Adam Cole was supposed to be a manager. And then Adam Cole brought up both of us should take a piss test. You see what I'm saying? Like, yo, and we getting the match next week. I wish they could save it up for a pay-per-view, but I'm cool with it either or. And if anybody gonna win that championship, it's Adam Cole. Cause it's been long overdue. He deserve it. He's still the best wrestler in the world. And MJF is just on his A game. Can't nobody touch him right now. Can't nobody touch him. According to him, if it was up to him, he'll say Jesus can't touch him. But hey, that's him. He called himself the devil. One love. You know what I'm saying? So that's gonna be a great match to see. Entertaining. And I just hope we get a pay-per-view match between both of them guys. And Adam Cole get his crown achieving moment in front of the crowd on a big pay-per-view stage, maybe at Forbidden Door. Especially, with the card that's featuring Okada versus Daniel Bryan. Then, of course, you got Kenny Omega, Will Ospreay, Part 2. But we'll talk about Forbidden Door on the next episode. I couldn't fit that in. But I will pencil it in for the next episode. We'll see how the situation goes, what I mentioned earlier in this episode, and we'll see where it goes. But, you know what I'm saying? So the promo was great. Adam Cole did the right decision by leaving WWE. He back on track. He had a stellar feud with Chris Jericho. I ain't gonna say it was stellar. I think the fans weren't engaged and we didn't care about it. But he's right here. Adam Cole is right back where he belongs because he ain't been in the title picture since he challenged Adam Page for the championship about last year. Yeah, last year, 2 years. No, was it last year? I think that was 2 years ago. I don't know how long Adam Cole been. I think about a year or two. But he ain't been in the title picture since, and now he back right where he belongs. Got two more subjects, y'all. In my next subject, let's talk about my boy, the Legend of Abyss. My boy Abyss appeared in TNA in 2002, where he just been dominant ever since. You gotta think about it. My boy is a one-time NWA World Heavyweight Champion. My boy is a one-time X Division Champion. My boy is a two-time television champion, two-time tag team champion with James Storm and my boy Crazy Steve when they had the great feud against the Hardy Boys. They began the Hardy Boys' new push, all that broken and all this stuff going down. Good ratings. Then of course, he's so cold, he reinvented himself to his real life name, Joseph Park, where he supposed to play attorney, the twin brother of Abyss. Then of course, you gotta give James Mitchell his props. He played a big role, a big part of Abyss being successful. Cause you gotta think about it. My boy had great feuds against Sting in that trash ass last right match. The feud was good, but they could have kept that wet Cassidy match in the ring. Slick trash, that ain't it. Then of course him and AJ always had good chemistry. Then his half brother Judas Messias, when James Mitchell betrayed him and he brought Judas Messias in. He had the great feud with Mick Foley, Sabu in the Hardcore Massacre, which was TNA Match of the Year in 2005. Christian Cage, Rhino, Bully Ray, Matt Morgan. And then fun fact, you guys, if y'all don't know, he was supposed to leave TNA in 2007. He was supposed to challenge The Undertaker at WrestleMania. So I was like, man, why he ain't leave? But that was a smart move, because we all know Undertaker was going to beat him and move on to the next. We all know he wasn't going to beat that streak. So that was a smart move. Now my boy these days, he's an agent at WWE. He had produced the great Walter and Sheamus match at the Battle of the what do you want to call it? Clash of the Castle. So my boy, you can tell my boy got skills and he's smart in the business. He know what he doing. Shout out to my main man Abyss. Then of course, my last subject, my boy Mike Awesome. Mike Awesome is the most dominant EC champion ever. Think about it. He defeated my boy Kid Cash, New Jack, his great rival Tanaka, Spike Dudley, where they had the real life shoot when he bust. I think he broke Spike Dudley's girlfriend's teeth and she was bleeding. He feuded with RVD and Sabu. Then of course, shortly after that great championship run, he went where the money at to WCW. Now it started off strong. Attack Kevin Nash. Oh yeah, man, it's good, bro. One love. Damn, Chief. And or whatever. My bad, it's beautiful when I said. And they had the great feud or whatever, and then it just went cold. He wasn't a part of no major storylines, and it was so garbage they booked him to be a fat chick lover or BBW lover in that 70s guy. And then when he went to WWE, his highlight was when he became hardcore champion during the invasion, but he was barely used. Then of course, 6 or 7 years later after that, he offed himself. He was going through mental health problems. He offed himself, shoot him up, bang bang. But hey guys, this is it for this episode. Hey man, I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. Remember what I said at the beginning of the episode? Put them in the comments. If whatever is gonna be a 300 subscribe episode, or we're gonna see. You know what I'm saying? Because I want to release a surprise episode. I know some of y'all got the request. Shout out to Kelly. I know she want me to release that Memphis episode. So we'll see where it goes. You know what I'm saying? But whatever episodes that I think of, because I want to do a surprise 300 subscriber episode, and they'll probably be the 61st episode or whenever I get to 300. So let's get to jump to 300, and we'll see where we go from there. I love y'all. I'm out. Peace.